We have now covered the entire technical content of ISO 15614-1 to 2017. In this final lecture, we bring it all together. We will look at the WPQR, the Welding Procedure Qualification Record, in detail, walk through its format field by field, and then work through 2 complete practical examples so you can see how the standard applies in real scenarios. By the end of this lecture, you should be able to complete a WPQR form, interpret an existing WPQR, determine whether a production weld falls within a qualified range, and identify the most common practical mistakes that lead to non-conformances or failed qualifications. The WPQR, Clause 9. The WPQR is defined in Clause 9 as a statement of the results of assessing each test piece, including any retests. It must contain all the relevant items listed for the WPS in the relevant part of ISO 15609, together with details of any features that would be rejectable under the requirements of Clause 7. If no rejectable features and no unacceptable test results are found, the WPQR is qualified and must be signed and dated by the examiner or the examining body. At Level 1, the WPQR records the details and level for the welding procedure and test results. At Level 2, it additionally records the range of qualification, the exact limits within which the procedure is valid. Annex B provides an example WPQR form in 3 sections. Let us go through each. Section 1, Test Certificate Page. The test certificate is the front page of the WPQR. It captures the manufacturer's WPQR number, your unique reference for this qualification, the manufacturer's name and address, the code or testing standard, ISO 15614-1 to 2017, the level, either Level 1 or Level 2, the date of welding, the examiner or examining body and their reference number. It then documents the range of qualification. This is the summary of what the WPQR actually qualifies. It lists the welding processes used, the deposited metal thickness per process, the type of joint and weld qualified, the parent material group and subgroup, the parent material thickness range, the throat thickness range for fillet welds, single or multi-run, the outside pipe diameter range, the filler material designation and make and size, the designation of shielding gas and flux, the backing gas designation, the type of welding current and polarity, the transfer mode, the heat input range, the qualified welding positions, the preheat temperature range, the interpass temperature maximum, post-heating details, and the post-weld heat treatment details. The certificate ends with confirmation statements from the manufacturer and the examiner or examining body, both with name, date, and signature. Section 2, Record of Weld Test. The record of weld test captures all the actual welding parameters used during the test. It records the location, the manufacturer's PWPS number, the manufacturer's WPQR number, the welder's name, the joint type and weld, a sketch of the weld preparation details, the method of preparation and cleaning, the parent material specification, material thickness, pipe diameter, and welding position. The welding details table is the technical core of this section. For each run, pass, of the weld, it records the welding process, filler material size, current in amperes, voltage, type of current and polarity, wire feed speed, travel speed, heat input, and metal transfer mode. Below the table, filler material designation and make, any special baking or drying of consumables, shielding gas or flux designation, backing gas designation, gas flow rates, tungsten electrode type and size for GTAW, back gouging or backing details, preheat temperature, interpass temperature maximum reached, post-heating, and post-weld heat treatment details including time, temperature, method, and heating and cooling rates. Optional items, marked with an asterisk in the form, include weaving details such as maximum width of run and oscillation parameters, pulse welding details, distance of contact tube to workpiece, plasma welding details, and torch angle. Section 3, Test Results. The test results page is the evidence page. It records the outcome of every test performed. For visual testing, the result. For penetrant or magnetic particle testing, the result. For radiographic testing, The result. For ultrasonic testing, the result. It records the examiner reference number and the testing laboratory report reference number. For tensile tests, a table with specimen type and number, yield strength, tensile strength, elongation a percent, reduction of area z%, fracture location, and any remarks. The requirement value is also stated for comparison. For bend tests, former diameter used, type and number of specimens, bend angle, elongation if measured, and the result, pass or fail. For macroscopic examination, the photograph or image is added here, with any observations. For impact tests, the specimen type, size, and requirement are stated. Then for each notch location and direction tested, the temperature and the 3 individual values plus their average. This table is completed for each set, weld metal and has separately. For hardness, the type and load, the parent metal values, has values, and weld metal values, plus a sketch showing the measurement locations. Any other tests required by the application standard are recorded in the Other Tests section. The page concludes with a statement of whether the test results were acceptable or not acceptable, and the examiner's signature. Worked Example 1, Carbon Steel Plate Butt Joint, Level 2. Scenario: a manufacturer wants to qualify a welding procedure for GMAW, Process 131, spray transfer, on 15 mm thick Group 1.2 carbon steel plate, S355J2. Level 2 qualification is required for a pressure equipment contract. Shielding gas M21, solid wire ER70S6. Preheat 75 degrees Celsius, no PWHT. Test piece selection. Butt joint in plate, Figure 1. Minimum 150 mm x 350 mm. Full penetration, multi-run, NDT required at Level 2, visual testing, 100%. Radiographic or ultrasonic testing, 100%. Since T equals 15 mm, UT is permitted. Surface crack detection, magnetic particle testing, 100%. Destructive tests required. 2 transverse tensile specimens. 4 transverse bend specimens. Since T equals 15 mm, which is greater than or equal to 12 mm, 4 side bends are permitted in place of root and face bends. 1 macroscopic specimen. Hardness testing, Vickers HV10. Impact testing. Since T is greater than or equal to 12 mm and S355J2 has specified impact properties, 1 set in weld metal and 1 set in has. Testing temperature to be selected by the manufacturer, typically 0 degrees Celsius or minus 20 degrees Celsius for S355J2. Acceptance criteria. Tensile strength, minimum 470 megapascals, S355J2 minimum ERM. Bend, no imperfection greater than 3 mm. Hardness, Group 1 non-heat treated, maximum 380 HV. Impact, per S355J2 standard requirements at chosen test temperature. Visual and NDT. Quality level C for geometric imperfections, B for all others. Qualified ranges on the WPQR. Parent material. Group 1, qualifies equal or lower yield strength Group 1 materials. Material thickness. Level 2 at T equals 15 mm. Range is 7.5 mm, 0.5 times 15, to 16.5 mm, 1.1 times 15. Pipe diameter. Since this is a plate test, qualifies plates and pipes of OD greater than 500 mm. Heat input. Plus or minus 25% of values used, subject to impact and hardness limits. Filler. Same designation, same covering type, same chemistry, same or lower hydrogen content. Welding position. If tested in one position and impact and hardness are required, limited to that position and positions covered by the same heat input range. If 2 test pieces are made in different positions, broader coverage. Worked Example 2, Stainless Steel Pipe, TIG, Level 2. Scenario: qualifying a TIG welding procedure on 6 mm wall thickness, 76 mm outside diameter, Group 8 austenitic stainless steel pipe. Grade 316L. Level 2. Backing gas argon. No PWHT. Test piece. Butt joint in pipe, Figure 2. Full penetration. NDT at Level 2. Key differences for this case. Visual, 100%. Surface crack detection. Penetrant testing. Because Group 8 is non-magnetic, magnetic particle testing cannot be used. Volumetric NDT. T equals 6 mm. Ultrasonic testing is not permitted since T less than atom and material is Group 8. Radiographic testing must be used, provided the pipe configuration gives valid results. For this 76 mm OD pipe, RT is feasible. Destructive tests. Key differences. Hardness testing is not required for Group 8 parent metal. Impact testing. Group 8 austenitic stainless steel does not typically have specified low-temperature impact requirements in standard technical delivery conditions unless specifically required by the application standard. Check this. Macro. Required, 1 specimen. Qualified ranges. Pipe diameter. D equals 76 mm. So qualified range is 38 mm and above, a very useful range covering most common pipe sizes. Wall thickness at 6 mm. Qualified range is 3 mm, 0.5 times 6 to 7.8 mm, 1.3 times 6 at Level 2. Material. Group 8 qualifies Group 8 subgroups as per Table 5. Common mistakes to avoid. Based on the content we have covered, here are the most common mistakes to avoid in practice. First, assuming Level 1 applies when nothing is specified. The default is Level 2. This mistake leads to an undertested qualification that may not satisfy your contract requirements. Second, not delaying NDT on hydrogen-susceptible materials. An immediate inspection on a thick, unheated low-alloy steel joint can give a false clean result before any hydrogen cracking has developed. Third, forgetting the 25 mm discard zones when planning test piece length. If your test piece is only 350 mm long, you have 300 mm of usable material after discarding 25 mm at each end. Plan your specimens to fit within that. Fourth, exceeding the qualified heat input range in production. Heat input creep, where welders slowly increase heat input over time without realizing, is a common cause of non-conformance. Regular monitoring of welding parameters against the WPS is essential. Fifth, applying a different filler material manufacturer than qualified at Level 2 for low-temperature impact applications below -20 degrees Celsius. This requires an additional test piece, not just a substitution. Sixth, using the same WPQR for a subcontractor without maintaining the original manufacturer's full responsibility. A WPQR belongs to the qualifying manufacturer. Make sure your contract arrangements reflect this. Final recap, the complete Series 70. Lecture 1. ISO 15614-1 qualifies welding procedures, not welders or equipment. 3 documents. PWPS right pointing arrow WPQR right pointing arrow WPS. 71. Lecture 2. 4 test piece types. Minimum dimensions. Examiner must witness welding and testing. 72. Lecture 3. 2 levels. Level 2 is default and more rigorous. Covers Level 1 but not vice versa. 73. Lecture 4. NDT before specimen cutting. PWHT before NDT. UT restricted to T is greater than or equal to 8 mm and non-group the 10th of August 41-48. 74. Lecture 5. 5 destructive tests, tensile, bend, macro, impact, hardness. Each with specific acceptance criteria. 75. Lecture 6. Cracks and lack of fusion are absolute failures. Structured retesting provisions for all test types. 76. Lecture 7. Material grouping, thickness ranges, and diameter ranges govern what a WPQR covers in production. 77. Lecture 8. Process variables, positions, heat input, filler, current type, PWHT, each with specific qualification ranges. 78. Lecture 9. The WPQR records all welding parameters and test results. The examiner's signature makes it valid.